Okay. Sending it to you now.
New link?
I just sent it to you. Testing. Hello. Can anyone hear me? Good. Okay, people can hear now. Fantastic. Jesus. YouTube is very annoying. Could y'all hear anything I was saying earlier, or did it just not work at all? Okay. Yeah, there we go. I'm glad that's working now. So, good to see y'all again. Been an awful, well, not an awful long while. Been about 4 weeks, I'd say. But it's an absolute pleasure. We've been doing a lot of work, I can tell you that. Got some pretty cool new directions we're headed in. Got a whole bunch of new partners. Why not on Discord instead of here? Well, I honestly just prefer being able to talk to y'all face to face over Discord. Discord, you have to do kind of a clunky thing with the live chat, and it's easier on YouTube, to be totally honest. So, yeah, we've got a ton of new stuff coming down the pipeline. Some stuff I still can't talk about. Some stuff it's in the works. You know, it's coming pretty soon. You'll see it. And then some stuff is, well, it's stuff I just haven't talked about. It should, ideally, we'll have that stuff rolling out mid to late December. Let's just be honest, with the holidays, it'll probably be January. That stuff is kind of our retail push. You're beginning to see the tip of the iceberg. So, I mean, go ahead, throw some questions at me. I'm happy to discuss what we're up to. Happy to discuss the direction we're headed in, what that means for Revest, how we're hoping to drive those utilization numbers way up. How excited I am about our TVL, about our new pages that we've been putting together for the app, and just kind of get into where we're going. So, what are the plans for next month? Well, I mean, the real cherry I'd like to throw out next month, that who knows if it'll happen. You know, we got a lot of development angles, and we'll probably be bringing on some more resources, granted, in the coming week or two. But I have no clue if this will happen. Next month, ideally, we'd have some sort of a Secret Santa thing. That could be fun. In terms of, you know, actual developments, if I get my way, retail targeted projects. So what I'm really liking right now is derivatives. We're working on, you know, figuring that out and pointing that in the right direction. And just being able to offer arbitrary options, so calls and puts, on any two tokens, I think is a very large untapped market. Everyone's got these derivatives. They're very fancy. You know, it's all true blue chips. You know, stuff like synthetics, stuff like, you know, I guess Hedgic, UMA. It's all these. It's a small cadre of groups, and I think that derivatives should be democratized. I think that that sort of thing should be for any tokens. So I think you should be able to trade options on, for lack of a better term, shitcoins. And I think that would be one, hilarious, and two, good for the market. So my vision is being able to turn around, find any two tokens that you think might go up or down relative to one another, and place a bet on them, just like in, you know, the real derivatives market. Though typically that's cash settled. So you could end up betting that SHIB will go up relative to ETH, or ETH will go up relative to SHIB. And I mean, it's insane, but it also sounds kind of fun. You know, just open up the marketplace, make things more flexible, allow for truly non-fungible positions. Okay. So, okay, we got some questions now. What's the okay? So that's the plan for next month is to kind of work on those retail things. Just putting together these structured products, figuring out a way to bring them to market and allow people to self-write their own options, which I just think is incredibly exciting. That'll probably be mid-December to early January if things go as I want them to. Has the ambassador program brought you any projects yet? We have some people kind of on the back burner who are offering new projects. We haven't actually announced any of our new ambassadors. We've been just kind of letting the applications accumulate. Or around 7 or 8 good applicants last I checked. There's probably still room if you want to get in on that. We're basically once we actually do announce and formalize that, I expect we're going to have 2 to 3 projects based on what people in the applications have already said. So I look forward to paying out a few F next week if things went really well. That'd be great. TVL. What is TVL? So TVL is total value locked, and I'll get around to you, Nikolai. A TVL is total value locked, and it means the amount of money that's in the Revest vault. So if we go and we take a look at our TVL right now, which is on DeFi Llama, big shout out to the people at DeFi Llama. They were fantastic in helping us get situated on their app. Currently, we are sitting at $81 million worth of tokens locked in FNFTs. I'm very happy with that number. That's a good number. Previously, our high right before ETH decided to take a little bit of a retrace, which we all knew was coming. I mean, you can't go for an entire month without taking a small little drawback, then shooting back up. But this is not financial advice. We were at 99 million, so I'm excited about that. Having once we hit, oh Jesus, is that 9 figures? Yeah, that's literally 9 figures that we're approaching in TVL. That's a good figure. I'm extremely excited about that. It's really cool. Hey, Mr. Todd, I can't comment on price, but yes, it is a significant fraction, a significant multiplier on market cap. That's quite nice. There's probably some finance ratio that I should know that actually accurately compares those two. Us, Theta Pred, or Louis, they'd probably know that. So how many secret partners do we have? Somewhere around 5, maybe 6. There's a decent backlog. Oh, no, that's a lie. It's more than 6, closer to 8 or 10 actually. Yeah, the answer to that question changes pretty daily. We have a fairly significant number of inbounds, and just stuff in the works. So it's really quite exciting. We've got a good backlog. We have a good backlog of partners to announce, and we've got some pretty exciting announcements coming up. So I'm very happy to share that information. What number is in your head for the potential market cap? I can't comment on that. I'm not sure if I am legally allowed to, but I'm just not going to take that risk. That's just something that I don't do. So I will not and cannot predict market cap. I plan to keep working on Revest. In the coming weeks, I'm going to formally apply to graduate from my graduate program, my doctoral program. So I'm dropping out with a master's, which if you're dropping out, it's not a bad way to drop out. But that's going to be formalized, and I'll just be, I have just been working as the CEO of Revest, but formally I will dissolve those ties and will solely be the CEO of Revest. So it's exciting. It's a big move, and means there is no going back. There is nothing to go back to, and I'm in this for the long haul. This is I believe in this project. I would not have put so much time and effort into it if I did not believe in this project and not believe that this project has incredible potential. So yeah, if that tells y'all where I think Revest is going, I think it should speak volumes on its own. It's pretty cool. What we're doing is really cool. And I can't wait to share some of the stuff I got in mind. I mean, heck, just getting this integrated into staking programs alone, that's going to be huge. We got the NFT lockers that are still in the backlog, and that's coming on out. Those are working their way through unit tests right now. And oh Jesus, yeah, options. Okay. Anything else y'all would like to ask me about? It's an AMA, so you can ask me my opinion on anything, and I will answer. Doesn't even have to be related to Revest. Ask me about the day's news. Ask me about the weather. Politics I'll mostly dodge, but hey, you never know. How many developers we have currently that are working on Revest? I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 5, though not full time. A lot of those people are part time. We have 2.5 full time devs, I would say at this point. I'm looking to bring on another Web3 dev. That is where I think our biggest bottleneck is right now. Is I've done a lot of the Web3 Solidity work, and my goal as CEO is to make myself obsolete. So bringing on someone to run that end of things is a major goal for the project in the coming week or two. And doing so in a way that doesn't end up costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, ideally. Have we been in talks with any Polygon-based projects? Yeah, we have. I mean, I won't get into any specifics, but there's a reason we deployed on Polygon first. There's a reason for that. So y'all find out more. You'll find out more soon. Do I participate in any DAOs? I suppose. I'd say, I mean, I'm in a ton of DAO groups. Like I'm in the Meebits DAO, but I don't really participate in that one. The one that I've been interested in lately is the Lobster DAO. And I'm a fan of Lobster DAO. Lobster DAO is pretty cool. Those guys are all right. I mean, Lobster DAO is a DeFi chat, but then they actually released an NFT called the Lobster DAO NFT, and I like the Lobster DAO NFT. So potentially we'd be working with them as clients when this NFT locker program gets through the unit test. I've got a few guys there who were involved with Lobster DAO working on the unit tests, actually. So all things held equal, that should be a use case for the actual NFT locking system. Excited to see how that works out. What are my thoughts on the Gurukurt droids? Edon and I have unfinished business. I'll leave it at that. We have unfinished business. And I don't say that in a particularly positive light, unfortunately. I consider myself a fair and patient person, and that's really about all I have to say about that. So, when geometric energy? I don't know what you're talking about. No clue. No clue at all. I had a great time having drinks with Sam in New York. He's a cool guy. I like Sam Reed. He's a good person. Enjoyed talking with him. Hope to see him again at one of the conventions if he's making the rounds. We'll see how things go. I know he's working his ass off right now, so can't say I'd be surprised if I saw him, to be completely honest. They've got their launch coming up, literally. But yeah, Sam Reed's cool. I like him. And if I told you when an official announcement would come, well, then it wouldn't be very official now, would it? Bringing more developers, at least 2 to 5 developers. Right now, the plan is to probably bring about 1 additional developer onto the team. Developers, especially Solidity devs, are typically a bit pricey. So I don't think we'd be bringing that many devs on board, but yeah, their plans to bring more developers on. Yeah, Having more people working on Web3 and Solidity is never a bad thing, especially if you can find someone who's happy to do unit tests. That's a hard thing to find. Any thoughts on NFT games? Is there a place for us there? When it comes to NFT games, yes, absolutely. I'm not saying that's one of the unannounced partnerships. Not going to answer that question. There's some cool things you can do with Revest and NFT games, metaverse style stuff. There's ways you can do quest rewards. There's ways you can incentivize staking. There's all sorts of interesting little ways to manage stuff. Somebody came to me the other day with an idea for like a real estate management group using FNFTs, and I thought that was kind of an interesting concept. Somebody else was talking about a DAO thing, and that was also quite interesting way of thinking about things like governance. So, I mean, there's heck, you could actually use FNFTs as a way to channel votes. That'd be an interesting use. What are my ultimate end goal vision for Revest? Well, I've actually spoken about this one previously. I see Revest as being a catalyst for massive change in the DeFi industry. I see us being used as a standard to represent non-fungible financial positions. Basically, when you have something like an option, I think it's been kind of done clunkily. The current standard is open for options that I found. I mean, there's Hedgic, there's UMA, there's a bunch of other people who are trying it. The only portable one that I've seen really is open, and they do ERC20s for only 4 different pairs, and that's ETH US dollar, Bitcoin US dollar, and then calls and puts on each one of those. And that to me is sad. You can only pick one position, so one expiration date, and then you print them in bulk. And it's kind of wasteful. Not wasteful. It's nonsensical. Why would you use an ERC20 for that? It doesn't make any sense. You're basically forcing a very small position to be mass produced. What if everyone doesn't like that position? What then? Well, then you just don't have any representation of that position that's portable. So the way I see Revest working is we can tokenize all those non-fungible financial positions, like any asset pair, any strike price, any expiration date, you name it. You got an NFT now. You can turn around, you can trade it, you can make it into a bunch of different pieces. It's easy. So I see that becoming the standard for not just stuff that the team creates, but stuff that other people create on top of Revest. I want us to be very similar to, say, OX in that case. People use it as a building block. And I see us in that same sense, generating revenue from uses that are outside of the core system. So I'm quite excited to see that develop. Will we ever shift to a DAO model? Yes, we absolutely will. We are working towards that. Our current goal is to kind of get the revenue flowing in so that we have that long-term stability that I think a DAO needs. And then, we'll be transitioning as much as we can to a DAO model. I don't know what that's going to look like. I really like the idea of doing a DAO and making it hard for people to push things through. I don't know. If y'all have ever read Robert Heinlein, The Moon is a Harsh Mistress, there's a great bit towards the end where they talk about having a house to pass laws and having a house to veto laws. And I kind of like that idea in a DAO design, making it difficult for the tyranny of the majority to assert itself, so that if something is deeply unpopular, like say you're voting to just break the protocol for some reason, then a minority can stop that from going through. So I think DAO design is an actually really interesting topic of discussion and gets very deep into what is possible. Do we have any plans for airdrop bonuses for early investors? No, we don't have any plans for that. Airdrops are only really necessary from a financial point of view when you've done something like Uniswap, where you maintain too much control. We distributed a lot of our tokens to the community at the onset, so we have avoided the need for airdrops. Nor do I think there's really much utility in airdrops. I think it's just a way to dilute the token. If you were early, you got in at a good price. And in my opinion, if the token performs well, that itself is a reward. So when would you start receiving ETH rewards? Sometime in the next 6 months. No, not 6 months. We've been operating for 2 months now? Sometime in the next 4 months is the plan. So I don't know exactly when we'll flip the switch. You could, depending on Polygon utilization, you could see them as soon as next week if there's a lot of utilization on Polygon. We're just going to bridge stuff on these side chains. We're going to bridge it back to Ethereum, and we're going to convert it all to ETH, and we're going to just distribute it to the stakers on ETH. So the more activity goes on there, the more returns y'all will get. I don't know how big those returns will be. I don't know what use is going to be on those networks. It's up to the community to actually, share this with projects on those networks that they're aware of. The community, the team only has so much time and resources to find these projects, which is why we started the ambassador program. And if y'all know projects on these networks, know people who might be interested, fill out that application. Seriously. You can make money. You can just get the chance to set up those networks, make those connections. I highly encourage it. I know people who've gotten their start in DeFi actually as ambassadors, and now they made tens of millions of dollars working in various projects. It's a good onboarding system if you're new. So let's see. Oh, that's a pumpkin. When will we start receiving? Okay. Do I have any plans for negative entropy? Eventually. Revest is taking up most of my time right now, but yeah, negative entropy. I'll eventually circle back around. Ability to enter the Revest seed round was the primary reward for people who got into negative entropy early. There will probably be something else in the future. I reward people who supported me early on, and I plan to continue doing so. Eventually, there will be a Series 2, and we'll see what that is when it comes out. My ability to create that, of course, is there's only so much time. I wish there were more, but there is only so much. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Is there any idea what the fee percentage will be when we're out of it? So currently on Polygon, we've actually turned on the fee engine. This is an exciting thing. I don't know if I told y'all. We are actually charging fees on Polygon. So right now on Polygon, we are charging roughly about 0.1%, which is a very low percentage, but we wanted to start out low and see if that affects utilization. It's 5 Matic per mint on top of that. So we got a flat rate and then a percentage on top of that. So if you lock up 200 ERC, 2,000 ERC 20s, you'll be charged 2 ERC 20s on top of that, and you will be charged 5 Matic no matter what. So small fees, but we just want to kind of gauge, how that's going to affect use, see how it'll work out with our partners just accordingly, and just kind of keep rolling from there. So the answer is, I don't know what it's going to be like on ETH. We're trialing things right now to get a better idea of how it should be on ETH. How can a Revest end user benefit from that? Use it on, define end user, I suppose, is the first thing. If you're talking about stakers, encourage people to use Polygon. You will actually make money from them using Polygon. The more you tell people, oh, hey, there's this cool thing called Revest, you should try it out for this, or just give it a shot, or just play with it. Well, that means you make money. So just encouraging people to use it is going to bring in value for you. Finding projects and encouraging them to use it especially will bring in more value for you. So if you are a staker, you have a direct incentive alignment to get people to use Revest to lock up tokens on Polygon, because the more they do that, the more money you make personally. So simple incentive alignment. It is up to the community to push this and to basically pump their own bags in that regard. We reach out to as many projects as we are physically able, but there are many more hands amongst y'all if there will ever be amongst us. So that is how I would approach that. If you are a user and just want to create FNFTs, then get on Polygon. You can create FNFTs much cheaper than you can on ETH in terms of gas fees. Not all that many tokens are available relative to ETH. That is the downside. Not everything has an analog. But if you just want to go play around with them, yeah, I'd recommend doing it on Polygon instead of ETH. Unless you're staking, that case, do it on ETH, because it's not available on Polygon. Staking is it's a problem if you try to do that on Polygon. Bringing in new investors. A bit concerned about the dev team if you stopped working on it. Nikolai, I would not worry about that at all. The dev team is committed. We have our own bags of Revest. We we got a decent amount of the tokens of the TGE as our tokenomics dictated, and we have a strong incentive alignment to continue developing the project. Do I have any plans for bringing new investors? Keep building. That's really about it. I'm not the type of guy to just pump and dump the project. Marketing is important. Reaching out to new projects is important. Teaching retail how they can use our projects is important, and we are doing that as we develop these products. But pump and dump schemes aren't something I'm ever going to pursue. You may have noticed that with Polygon. A lot of teams would be like, "Oh, we're launching on Polygon, guys. We're launching on Polygon," and it would go on for a week or two. You get hyped up, you'd be encouraged to pump the price, and then we'd launch on Polygon. People who basically bought the rumor would sell, and everyone would get left holding the bag. I don't like that. I don't like pump and dumps. I don't like that sort of hype bubble. I like genuine excitement, genuine use, genuine reality of Revest actually offering real value. I don't want to buy into those cheap advertising schemes. I don't respect them. I don't believe that's what Revest is about. We're a blue chip. We're not a shitcoin. We're not using that kind of shitcoin tactics. When we launch on other tokens, you'll hear about it. I mean, other chains, yeah, you'll hear about it, but we're not going to just pump it up like weeks beforehand. The only things that we will actually put significant marketing effort into and significant, excitement is products. So when we launch a new product, you'll hear all about that. We will be very excited to share that with y'all because products actually bring revenue, and revenue in turn brings new investors. So my goal here is not to pump value; it is to provide revenue. My goal is to make this a genuine product that has a genuine offering, that has genuine sustainability in terms of business model. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm not doing my job right. So why am I comparing? I'm not comparing investors with shitcoins. No, that's not at all what I'm doing, Nikolai. I'm explaining that a lot of the marketing stunts used by shitcoins are false and deceitful, and I don't think that's a good way to run a token. I don't think just pumping the value on pure hype without anything to back up that hype is a good thing to do as a leader. I don't think it's a good thing to do as someone who wants this project to be a real project, a legitimate project. And as far as I'm concerned, we're a blue chip. There's no difference between us and Aave except market capitalization and awareness, and those latter two can be solved. But I think that cheapens us is if we use those sorts of tactics where we just pump value on pure speculation. I don't like it. Revenue streams are the real way to sustainability, the real way to a real DeFi economy. And that's what I want to build. And yes, Cardano is all marketing and no substance. Don't get me started on Cardano. I will go. Cardano is, in the nicest terms, a scam. I know that's controversial, but I'm just going to say it. They do not have any actual functional smart contract technology that could do anything beyond doing one transaction every block. It only exists because I don't even remember the guy's name. The Cardano founder, he ended up in some legal ramifications with Japan and had to actually build a platform, but he hasn't put any real thought or care into it. And it's I don't like Cardano. Not a fan. Nikolai, my thinking is you bring substance, that brings investors, and that brings a benevolent cycle of more revenue streams. But if you just create things that create hype without substance, Most people see through that, and then it collapses, and you've just got mud all over yourself. So no, you've got the right idea that there is a cycle there. There's a benevolent feedback cycle, but the benevolent feedback cycle is contingent on there being an actual substance to get excited about. And if you are just creating hype with no actual substance, then eventually the entire thing implodes on itself and you're left with nothing. And everyone else might be a bit richer than you, but that's not what I want for this community. That's not what I want for this token. If I just wanted to pump my own bags and walk away with a lot of money, I could do that, but that's not what I want. That's not the reputation that I want as a person. I don't want the reputation as some shitcoiner. I want the reputation as someone who's actually contributing to the DeFi economy and the DeFi industry. And I want Revest to be viewed as an actual pillar of the DeFi industry. So I'm not willing to engage in those shady, backhanded tactics. That's just not something that I find respectable in the industry. How will we deal with the proposed regulations? Which regulations are you referring to? If you're talking about that stuff in 2024, I don't worry that far in advance. My thinking is DeFi itself will be fine. And by that point, Revest will be a DAO. So I honestly don't think that the government's attempts to make moves against crypto will work out well for the government, if you want my honest opinion. Of course, they will try to fight it, and they probably already have begun trying to fight it, but it's too late. DeFi is here to stay, and I don't give those sorts of things that much creed. In terms of legality, Revest is in a fine position regulatorily. People can create things using our service, but as I've explained previously, we are not actually creating securities. We are, if you take a security, you wrap it in an FNFT, you have created a security. We have not done anything other than give you the wrapping paper to wrap that up. What you choose to do with that paper is up to you. If you turn around and sell that, that's up to you. That is not something that Revest has any engagement in. So that's the answer to that. We are in a safe position from a regulatory standpoint. We're quite confident on that. And I'm genuinely very excited about the future of DeFi. Okay. I appreciate that, Walrus. Thank you very much. I've had the same haircut for years. I like my haircut. It suits me. Get it cut about every 6 weeks or so. Sometimes it's a thank you. Yeah, I like vests. This vest, I've had this thing for years. See it? It's Barbour. Good company. Make good jackets, make good vests. I just saw it at a shop, Highland Outfitters, something like that, one day. I liked it, and I bought it, and I used to have another green vest. Actually, I got a thing for green vests. Don't know what it is. Vests are my winter clothing. I always do the collared shirts. I like collared shirts. And in the summer, I roll up the sleeves, and in the winter, I put on the vest, and it just works. It's easy. Okay. Yes, we have plans to deploy on rollups. Somebody point me to a ZK roll BVM. We'll be on in a heartbeat. Seriously. Whenever one goes live, we're there. I want to get on ZKs. They are the future. I like Optimism. I like Arbitrum. Who knows? Maybe we'll show up on there. Who knows? Maybe it might be next week. I'm not saying anything, but it's actually pretty easy to deploy the protocol. It literally took me a day. So now that we've done it once, it's actually very easy to do it more than once. Oh yeah, Georgie, I'm excited about where we're going. This is something I'm very passionate about. This company. I've got good people around me, and we got big plans. I suppose the vest is for Revest. Yes. I never actually thought of that. I've been wearing vest for a lot longer than I've had the idea for Revest. But yeah, sure, we can go with it. I got another one for you. The founder of the RSA algorithm. It's the first public key cryptographic algorithm. The R in RSA stands for Revest, Rivest, but Revest. I did not know that when I came up with the idea for Revest. Found that out afterwards. Crazy coincidence. I appreciate that, Hansel Leg. You sound all right yourself. Normalize miniature poodles, rename the other group to be giant poodles. All right. Okay. I have no clue what you're referring to, sir, but all right. Yeah, ZK Sync. I saw that on Polygon. I'm excited for that. There's another one out there too. Loop Ring, I think, is another ZK. Panther Protocol is another ZK rollup that's coming out. Somebody told me that something called Rose launched the other day. Heard that was another ZK. ZK 2022 is going to be the year of the ZK rollup. It's going to be crazy. I got turned on to by one of our community members. He's now our operations advisor, actually. Given that we don't have a COO, we brought him on. He turned me on to this thing on Bankless, and Bankless seems pretty cool. It's called like why Ethereum is, oh, Jesus. I'm blanking out on it. It's Ultra something money, and there's two of them now. They're I'm gonna remember this in like 10 minutes, and it's gonna kill me. But yeah, am I a big fan of Aave? I like Aave. They set the standard for how to do things, in my opinion. I wouldn't say partnership. I'd like to get in touch with Stony. Sure, he likes Vest too. You know, he's a cool guy. Stony seems like he knows some stuff. But no formal work yet with Aave. Definitely some stuff that we could do though. So we have integrations with their systems, and if they wanted to do something, I'd love to work with them. Ultrasound, that's it. And there's the other one. My F is Ultrasound Bankless. Ultra scalable, I think was what it was. Anyways, it's about how ZKs and Eth2.0 and sharding all tie together. And it explains basically why, stuff like BSC, stuff like Solana, it's a flash in the pan because ZKs will be numerous and they will be secured by the security layer, but they'll have their own much faster transactional layer, just like something like Solana. So basically everyone who's doing that sort of thing right now will go over to ZKs because ZKs are just easier to work with. And it's going to be pretty cool. You have a deflationary currency that now has incredibly high scalability. So I'm really excited to see when, sharding and ZKs kind of tie in together. It'll probably be 2023 before we see that, but it's going to be crazy. It is going to be absolutely crazy. Is the window behind you a secret signal the sky is the limit? Sure, why not? My wife is taking a test to get certified as a court reporter today. So I am over spending some time at my parents' home. We live in the same city, so I just figured I'd drop by and let my wife have the apartment because apparently you have to be very quiet when you're taking these tests. I guess that's the drawback of working remote is that take these tests remote. They're very weird. All right. Do I think the world will become bankless in your lifetime? Ideally. I think the banks will stick around in some sense. Nothing's perfect. They'll figure out a way to continue to exist because, there's always going to be a need for financial advisors because there's always going to be people who don't want to do it themselves. So I definitely think they'll still exist just the same way that you see legacy media still exists, even though digital is far superior. I think it'll just be a gradual transition away from them, and they'll become more and more obscure as the years go by. Kind of like landline telephones still exist, but when was the last time you saw someone under the age of 40 who had a landline? I just don't see a future for banks in their traditional role. I see them changing. I see them downsizing. I see a lot of people getting laid off and heading into DeFi. And I think that'll be a better world. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know if they'll sit on top, Mr. Todd. They will definitely try. They'll definitely try to sit on top. I don't know if they can at this point. They kind of missed the boat on a lot of the early stuff. and they got a lot of money to throw around, but people forget that liquidity is not an infinite depth. So if I have $10 billion and I want to buy up every bit of Chainlink on the market, just for example, okay, is there $10 billion in Chainlink available on the market? That is a question. That is a question a lot of people forget. I could go to Uniswap and, okay, I got my $10 billion. So I buy up every bit of Chainlink available. Okay, as I do that, Chainlink's value gets boosted up insanely high. And eventually I'm reaching diminishing returns. So ideally, you have to figure out how to do liquidity depth. And if banks want to do that, they have to find a deep enough source of liquidity, which is not as easy as you would think it is. Okay. It is 2:53. How the time flies. I have actually got some stuff that I need to get to. So I think this has been fantastic. Y'all have been a wonderful group. And yeah, this has been great. It's always good to talk to you guys. I'm really excited to see what we work through in the coming weeks and months. And we'll have one of these again soon. Y'all take care and have a fantastic afternoon. Bye-bye.